Welcome back, and as I mentioned before, welcome back for the most calming moment in television. Absolutely love this. What an interview that was, huh? What a great conversation with my publisher, Suzanne Doyle Ingram. Don't forget to go look her up, prominencepublishing.com. You can find her. She's the only Suzanne Doyle Ingram on LinkedIn, and she will help you write your first book. Believe me, take it from me, I know. And again, we are here with our good friend, the founder of Sumantra Holistic, Emilia Yonge, talking about a very, very important topic today. Hey, Emilia, how are you?
Hi, Glenn.
Well, listen, I am loving this T-shirt. Are you seeing this? Save a life. Grow up your wife. You have to explain this for us. What's that all about?
Well, today is the 1st of April. Happy April Fools. But besides that, it's also, there is a thing called Feel It on the First, hashtag Feel It on the First. I'm not sure who started it, but it reminds people, women actually, to check their breasts for any, unusual occurrences there, any lumps and so forth, and not just women, men as well. And so every first of the month is a reminder to women to check their breasts.
That's interesting that and it's a great reminder. Great health tip. Feel it on the first. Check for lumps, abnormalities, those kinds of things. And I have heard, in fact, of in some rare cases, men being diagnosed with breast cancer, particularly those of us gentlemen who may be a little bit overweight and things of that nature. We need to take care of ourselves too, fellas. So you were talking about this self-examination and this whole notion of self-care, particularly for women, particularly at this in this topic, is something that you are highly experienced with because of your own journey.
Yes, actually it's very interesting because in 2016, so that's about 5 years ago, in this month was when my husband discovered a lump in my right breast.
Really?
And I had actually skipped 2 mammograms because of the myth that because I had small breasts and also no history of cancer in my family, that I didn't have to worry about that.
That's interesting. So it's not just very buxom women who need to be concerned about this or aware of this.
That is correct. So, this is kind of a funny thing, but it's really good, very good medical advice, and it's based on something serious. Like I said, if my husband had not groped me, then, I would not have discovered that.
You taking notes?
Yes, and the funny thing is that when I was introduced to BNI, our networking group, I just happened, it was on the 2nd of the month, I think it was November or something like that. And so at the end, I just decided to bring up this reminder for the women, right? And women, remember to check your breasts. And then I paused because I realized that most of the people in the room were men. So I didn't want to, not address the men as well. And so I just said,
on the spur of the moment.
And men, save a life. Grope your wife. And then the room just exploded in laughter. And there were some guys who stood up, standing ovation. And I was like so embarrassed. And yeah. So
but the message got through.
Yes, the message stuck.
Absolutely.
Yes. And the men sometimes they request me to do that, and so I had guys saying like, so have you saved have you saved a life today? They'll ask each other.
Have you saved a life today?
Yes. So, but hey, whatever works, if it
Absolutely.
If it helps get the message across, then that's a good thing.
There you go.
Yes.
Now let's get just a little bit here. There's something I wanted to kind of drill into today.
Yes.
Your own breast cancer journey, because I know women are aware, and maybe more women are getting themselves examined now in self-examination. When you were first diagnosed and began the treatments and everything else, what would you say, Emilia, was the biggest challenge for you, the most difficult part of the whole process for you?
The most difficult part actually was my my husband. No, seriously, because men like to be able to fix things, right? And so this was something where, you know, he couldn't fix me.
Something he couldn't fix.
Exactly. And of course, not being the patient, he doesn't get the, you know, he doesn't get care.
He
right?
doesn't get the TLC.
Exactly.
Right.
So, you know, it was almost easier not to have him around.
Oh.
Like, for example, you know, getting a ride to chemo every week, and then later on with radiation, you have to go every day, right? And I have a ton of friends, and my friends were willing to bring me, right? Because I'm part of this big homeschooling group. So I could have asked my friends, but my husband, he insisted on being my chauffeur because he said that other people are not as invested in it as he is. Like, for example, what if there's a family thing that happens in that person's family? They'd have to, you know, they'd leave me stranded, right? So then it's like, okay, so I had to put up with him. And he had a bad bedside manner.
Oh,
yeah.
ouch.
So,
but in a way, I guess you could say that his insisting on being serving as your chauffeur and driving you, perhaps that was his way to feel included in the process.
To feel like he had some control, actually. And yes, and the thing was, I had to, it bothered me so much, his attitude, you know, because he would be just grumbling and all sorts of things, right? And I'm like, you know, I'm trying to psych myself up, right, to receive chemo and all that stuff. But then one day I clued into the fact that, okay, wait a minute, you know, he's not angry at me. He's actually angry at the situation. He's angry at himself for not being able to, you know, do his work and, you know, not being able to fix me, et cetera, et cetera. So then, you know, then I just let it go and I just let it roll off.
And understanding that stage, that emotional stage in the process, anger, is perfectly normal. It's to be expected because this is a major, major change in someone's health. And it's not just the health of the person, the life of the person who's been diagnosed, but their whole family, their loved ones. I've heard of stories where in the last couple of minutes here, I've heard of stories that where family members have kind of tiptoed around the person in some ways, maybe didn't want to have the same types of conversations.
Right. Oh yeah, I mean, I could talk a lot about this, but we don't have the time. However, I will tell you that next month, April 16th, I am going to be launching my cancer support group at Rick Rice Park on West Green Boulevard in Katy. And it's going to take place right after the Walk with a Doc events that is hosted by my the lady who diagnosed my my breast cancer, sorry. And so, so it's going to be a great event. So it's every third Saturday of the month, Walk with a Doc from 9 to 10 a.m., followed by the Cancer Support Group. Yay.
Walk with the Doc and the Cancer Support Group. And the best way, as we know, to find out about that, reach out to you directly.
That is correct.
832, let me see if I can do it without looking. 832 407 0407.
Yes.
Oh, okay. 477 0407. Best way to get a hold of you. You've got some great events coming up and a great story to share with women who are concerned, women who are struggling, maybe going through this process right now. There really is, as the old saying goes, there is help and there is hope.
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. Emilia, thank you so much for stopping by. As always, I feel so much better now.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. We'll be right back.
All right.